Nithyanandeshwara Sadashiva Samarambam Nithyanandeshwari Adi Shakti Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. I welcome a special guest for today morning Satsang, Kanji Thondai Mandala Adinam, the Guru Maha 232nd Guru Maha Sannidhanam, Srila Sri Tiruvambala Jnana Prahasa Desika Paramacharya Swamigal, with my humble respects, and all the devotees, disciples, Samajis, Satsangis, Shri Mahants, Tanidar Kotaris, visitors, viewers, everyone sitting with us all over the world through Nithyananda TV, Facebook Live, on hundreds of Adinavasis channels, Kalki TV, YouTube Live, and Twitter Live, and through two-way video conferencing, having Nayana Diksha. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. I'll start expanding on Adinam Chalo series. The Vision Document of Sadashiva. For his mission towards the humanity, how he prepares the human body and how he opens the multiple dimensions of the universe to human consciousness. How he gives access to human brain, and how he is letting the human brain translate the access to Kailasa into the real day-to-day life. Listen carefully. When you have access to higher consciousness, like Turiya and Turiyatita, when you have access to multi-dimensions of the universe, like different lokas, Bhur, Bhuva, Suva, Tapa, Satya, the higher lokas, the multi-dimensions of the universe, how that translates into the higher consciousness, state, space, power manifestations on the planet Earth. Listen carefully. State, space, power manifestation on the planet Earth. A person who develops Vak Siddhi not only develops integrity, he can never have a memory loss. If you say, I forgot this, I did not remember this. Understand? You live in an utter lack of integrity, the non-integrity lifestyle. What is integrity? Self-awareness. Being straight to what you are known for. Being straight to what you are known for. Listen. The very nature of the patterns is shrinking you and not letting you to be acting in tune with what you are known for. Unfortunately, you believe that is what is freedom. For example, you command the respect and powers of certain responsibility, but not attending to those responsibilities is what you call vacation. Oh, I do that 365 days, why not few days? That is what you call as vacation, and that is what you consider as your freedom. What do you call as your freedom? Not to deliver the responsibility for which you are empowered and the powers of which you manipulate and use in your life. So you have certain powers due to the responsibility you have towards the society and people. You want those powers, but do not want to deliver those responsibilities. Those few days only you call it as vacation, and you consider the amount of vacation you can have as the amount of freedom you have. Understand this whole non-integrated wrong thought current. It is because of this and the unfortunate learning you had from the young age, equating your time with money and equating your money with your day-to-day life, ultimately equating your very life to some stupid, non-existing currency. Understand? See the end, the real consciousness you are. That is reduced, tapered down. You are made to believe you are nothing more than your day-to-day life. Then your day-to-day life is nothing more than the time you have. Then the best way to spend time is make more money, to have more luxury and comforts and what all you need in the life. Then what is money? In the beginning, it was a solid, either gold or a metal, through which you can possess and batter and get what you want. Then slowly it moves to a paper with a promissory note. Then slowly it moves to not even a paper visible by you, which you can possess or handle, just few zeros. Then it moves to just few zeros, not even in a bank passbook, just in the electronic computer screen in the bank. See, you are comfortably made to walk through this transition without you raising a question or alarm or cultural shock. That is what is called education. Understand this whole thing. Finally, what you equate to what? Unconsciously, what you cognize as what, and how did you not have a cultural shock? How did you not wake up? How did you develop such large blind spot? See, it is not just a young man who is aspiring to enjoy all the best things a New York lifestyle can offer. Even the people who are retired, whose senses do not have ability or capacity to enjoy the lifestyle what New York is offering, even they do not wake up from this blind spot. Listen, the Hindu lifestyle of knowledge, power structure, economical structure, education is highly consciousness oriented. Even a small illogical ups and downs, you will wake up and the blind spot will not be allowed, because it is Vakyartha Sadas based, not memorizing based. Even in this system, maybe in course of time, a blind spots and corruption may evolve. That is the reason, by the time you finish 3/4 of your life, actually even after the 50%, first 25% brahmacharya means education period, second 25% grihastha. Immediately after the 50%, you are instructed to take vanaprastha, so you can have the acid wash. Any unnecessary blind spots built in you because of the power structures and economical structures of the society, you can cleanse yourself, wash yourself, and prepare for moving towards the moksha. That is vanaprastha. Understand? Then after the vanaprastha, you move to sannyasa. Listen carefully. The whole structure of vanaprastha is to cleanse your system, acid wash your system. Have you developed any blind spots? See, in large happenings, blind spots get developed. Someone can walk into our campus if they have this Rudraksha Mala, stay in the campus almost full 1 month and nobody will question him. Who he is, why he came, where he is staying. Because we have such large blind spot, the campus has become too big. Everyone is busy with their work. Everyone is busy with their team. In the 1 month, if somebody by mistake sees him and asks him, hey, why are you here? Who are you? Then, no, I just walked in, I saw good food and good stay available, I am staying. And early morning I go once in a while for yoga. People are really teaching me. And then I jump into the Vaidya Sarovar and take bath. And morning hot coffee, tea, breakfast is ready. And everyone is dancing, jumping. So I am also having party. Why did you come? No, I just came to see sightseeing. Understand? Any large happening, you develop blind spots. The society is large happening. So naturally, you develop blind spots. And the individual finally pays the price of the blind spots of the visionary of the society. See, the visionaries of the society, if they have a blind spots, the price is paid by whom? P-R-I-C-E. Is paid by whom? Price is paid by the people who are following. But all the praise, P-R-A-I-S-E, goes to the people who created the vision, who are responsible for these blind spots. Understand? Price paid by one group, praise received by another group. To break this unconscious rut, getting caught by the overdosed, multi-arithmeted, understand the word I am using, multi-arithmeted. This multi-arithmeting logic can make you believe anything into anything. Listen. Multi-arithmeted logic. If I have to give you an example of this multi-arithmeted logic, many memes you will see in the Facebook. Cockroach is afraid of rat. Rat is afraid of cat. Cat is afraid of dog. Dog is afraid of you. You are afraid of your girlfriend. Finally, your girlfriend is afraid of cockroach. You see many of these memes. Actually, this is what is arithmeted logic. See, for fun, okay. This whole memes, as long as it is fun, okay. But unfortunately, many times in your life, you start believing this kind of logic. See, for fun this is okay, but not for logic, not for taking decisions about your life. Cockroach is afraid of rat, rat is afraid of cat, cat is afraid of dog, dog is afraid of you, and you are afraid of your girlfriend is afraid of cockroach. This is what I call arithmeted logic. Understand? Reduced version of consciousness is Vidya. Diluted version of Vidya is knowledge. Diluted version of knowledge is information. Diluted version of information is logic. Diluted version of logic is mathematics. Diluted version of mathematics is arithmetic. Understand? You cannot calculate, equate arithmetic to consciousness. During every dilution, one of the vital qualities is lost. I have that memes here to be projected for you. Cockroach is afraid of rat, and rat is afraid of cat. Cat is afraid of dog, and dog is afraid of you, and you are afraid of your girlfriend, and your girlfriend is afraid of cockroach. Now it's a good memes and a joke to enjoy, but if it becomes your cognition, it's a cruel joke on you. Listen carefully. Your consciousness has been equated to the life you are living through this body, and the life you are living through this body is equated to the time you are getting every day. And the time you are getting every day is equated to what you can produce every day. And what you can produce is equated to the money you can generate every day. And the money you can generate is equated to the currency of your country every day. And the currency you can generate every day is equated to the zeros in your bank every day. And those zeros are equated to zeros. End of the day, then what is equal to what? Your life to the zeros in your bank account. This is what I will call arithmetic logic. Understand? Unconsciously, without you waking up, giving you this cultural cushion and lubrication, without letting you spot the blind spots, without letting you break this arithmetic logic, you being guided and fooled finally into the structure, either cohesively or by not providing any other opportunity, is called education. Understand? That is what is called education in the modern day. The Hindu way of education, Vedic tradition, lets you constantly dig out the blind spot from the first statement. Your consciousness is not equivalent to the life you are living in this body. It's a diluted, available version. Understand? Coconut is result of coconut tree, but not equivalent to coconut tree. But unfortunately, the human mind equates the result to the source. No. Your life in this body is the result of your consciousness, but not equal to your consciousness. That is where the first lesson starts in Hindu tradition. Multiple births and deaths. Understand? Your life in this body cannot be equated to your consciousness, because it is one life of consciousness, not only life of consciousness, as some religions try to tell you. The biggest blind spot, listen, the equating. All of you need to do Jivartha Sadas on this subject of arithmetic logic entering into the field of consciousness and damaging the humanity is what I call blind spot based politico-socio-ideology revolutions being named as religions. Socio-political revolutions cannot be called as religions. Hinduism hits. Understand? Hinduism has thousands of sampradayas. Shaiva, Vaishnava, Shakta, Ganapatya, Gaumara. In Shaivism, Pashupata Shaivism, Lagulisa Shaivism, Veera Shaivism, Siddhanta Shaivism, Adi Shaivism, at least 57 branches existed. Listen. In Veerashaivam, each mutt has their own patadi. In Siddhanta Shaivam, each mutt has their own tradition. And in each mutt, each Sannidhanam develops his own patadi and his own way of spreading it. Understand? In all this chaos, it is only Shastras maintain the authenticity without many blind spots getting developed. But in all these sampradayas agree some of the basic points. That is what I call core principles of Hinduism. Those core principles always make sure the blind spots don't get developed when arithmetic logic is applied in life. Understand? The pure science, when it gets evolved as applied science methodologies, you need to add something called arithmetic logic. But that arithmetic logic should not be in the language of exclusivity, because the exclusivity does not let you look in and repair the blind spots the arithmetic logic develops during the pure science becoming applied technology. Please understand. The pure consciousness, if you translate that pure consciousness into your day-to-day life, for example, if you make a statement, the life you are living in your body, which you are perceiving, is result of consciousness. That is a right way of evolving arithmetic logic of Shruti to Smriti, pure science to applied technology. But if you say our day-to-day life which we are experiencing is equivalent to our consciousness, that exclusivity develops blind spots from which you can never liberate yourself. Understand arithmetic logic entering into the science of consciousness may develop socio-political revolutions, but not a religion. Religion means developing an applied science methodology from the pure science without developing blind spots and leaving all the doors open for further purification and further inventions and discoveries. Understand? Exclusivity, monopolizing is one of the conspiracy not to let the human mind enter into this arithmetic logic, entering into the scene of diluting consciousness into life and lifestyle, and finally only style, no life. Understand? Arithmetic consciousness to life itself is a crime. Life is result of consciousness, not equivalent to consciousness. Mango fruit is result of mango tree, not equivalent to mango tree. Coconut is result of coconut tree, not equivalent to coconut. This roughly equating and the attitude of chalta hai in the plane of human consciousness. Understand? Today I am almost reading out Akashic records. Watch this satsang at least 5-6 times, only then you will understand. The Shruti getting converted to Smriti. How, if the exclusive arithmetic logic is used, blind spots get developed in it. The pure science becoming applied science methodologies, and how the purity can be retained in that plane, how the blind spots get developed by the exclusivity and monopolization. How this roughly equating for the sake of convenience of understanding develops some of the large blind spots and lets us live in ignorance. Understand? Just yesterday, me and Sannidhanam were discussing some of the practical issues. That time I was telling, Sannidhanam's secretary, that Sannidhanam is like a king. He has to make decisions. But it is the secretary's responsibility to provide with all the facts and figures and evidences and informations. See, the informations need to be fed to the leader with facts and figures, truth as it is. Then leader cognizes it and makes the decisions, forms the concepts, develops the ideas. Understand? Your cognition need to be fed with the right understanding of how this roughly equating is a crime you are doing. The moment you equate your life into equal to your consciousness, you are called human being. Till you do not equate, you are a being. The moment you cognize, the life you perceive is equivalent to the consciousness you have dropped yourself to human being. You belong to Bhuloka. Chine punnye mardhyalokam vishanti. Understand? Cognizing your life is a fruit of consciousness, not equivalent to consciousness. It's a fundamental understanding. Listen carefully. It's a fundamental understanding. Arithmetic logic is good for fun and memes, child play. That is not for developing a religion. The funny logic is good for laughter, not for developing a religion. Cockroach is afraid of rat, and rat is afraid of cat, and cat is afraid of dog, and dog is afraid of you, and you are afraid of your girlfriend is afraid of cockroach. Can be a funny memes for you to laugh. But you cannot take this kind of a blind-spotted logic and apply and develop religion. A blind-spotted, funny arithmetic logic is being used for developing religion, is exclusive monopoly religions. Monopolizing and exclusivity is a fort you build so common man will not know the stupidity goes on inside the palace in the name of administration. Understand? The other day I was reading a memoirs written by, personal memoirs written by Shah Jahan's secretary. He writes the Mughal kingdoms are soaked in blood. Any day anyone will kill anyone and get into the throne. There is no dharma. He describes beautifully that in Hindu kingdoms, if you hear one murder for getting the throne, if one person catches the throne by killing in a immoral way, you may hear only one person catching the throne as per the system in Mughal kingdom. It was always blood, blood, blood. Shah Jahan kills all his elder brothers and catches the throne. His own son puts him in prison and catches the throne. It is such dirty way of existing. I was shocked. Large forts are built for the common man not to see the dirty practices goes inside the palace in the name of administration. Exclusivity and monopolizing is a fort built. So a common practitioner will not discover the blind spots of arithmetic logic used in developing, converting a day-to-day applied science principles from the pure science. Understand? In Hindu tradition, the first thing you are given is more eyes to find more blind spot from how from the pure science, the applied science logic is evolved. And no applied science logic is accepted as ultimate. Understand? That's the beauty of Hindu tradition. The conversion of Shruti to Smriti. Parabrahma, Suddha Brahma. You may convert that into Parashiva or Paramapada or Parabrahma. That conversion and equation, once you translate that into Parabrahma, you develop a Brahminical Vedic tradition. Once you translate that into Paramapada, you develop a Vaishnavi tradition. Once you translate that Para into Paramashiva, you develop a Shaivite tradition. That translation itself was never exclusive in our Hindu tradition. You are given eyes to look into that translation. Look into that logic and remove the blind spots as much as you can. So the logic, arithmetic logic through which pure science gets converted into applied science was never endowed with the sacredness of exclusivity and monopolization in Hindu tradition. That is why I tell you, this is the only tradition developed with a sound scientific logic. The sound scientific logic and ready and vulnerable and open forever for any type of acid wash and questioning. In many traditions, even applied science you can't question. Here, not only applied science, the logic with which applied science is derived itself can be questioned. No exclusivity. No protection of monopoly. Each person who questions and discovers the blind spot and exposes it to the world by writing a new commentary on the Prasthanatraya is called Acharya. Understand the logic used for Shruti Smriti conversion. Pure science getting translated into applied science. Anybody who catches the blind spot in that logic and gives a methodology to heal it, clean it, and develops his own alternative reading for the contemporary human society and comments on Prasthanatraya is Acharya. Understand? The other day some guru was trying to tell Hinduism does not have structure. He's a fool. Hinduism has an amazing, unbreakable open architecture. alone can be broken. Ether cannot be broken. Because the structure is ether level, subtle, don't call, there is no structure. The fool was trying to tell, there is no book, there is no organization, there is no guru, there is no one head. So, because of it, it is not religion. Fool. It's an open architecture where the arithmetic logic is not guarded by the exclusivity and monopolization. Arithmetic logic getting guarded by the exclusivity and monopolization is like the wound you have due to your sickness, the pus and the wound, the whole thing getting covered with a gold covering and being protected forever till you die. Understand? It is time that wounds which are covered by the gold covering of exclusivity and monopolization kills that very person who is protecting his wounds. Gangrene is being protected by golden kavacha. Is no way going to protect the guy who is having gangrene. Understand? Diabetes does not mean you are a sweet person. If you try to roughly equate a diabetic, a sweet person, that may be arithmetic logic, but not ultimate logic. Listen, I'll break this important part and blind spot. Listen carefully. The logic with which you can justify all the happenings of your life and settle in peace is called tattva in Hindu tradition. Means you are haunted by the questions, why inequality? Why poverty? Why somebody gets good, somebody gets bad? Why somebody gets disease, somebody does not get? Why somebody gets happiness and somebody gets suffering? Why I am getting all these? Why I am always on the spotlight? With all these questions finally boiling down to who am I? The logic with which you can justify your haunting, seeking, and rest in peace is called tattva, darshana in Hindu tradition. Even the darshana is not exclusive or monopoly. There are 6. There are 6 methodologies through which you can pacify your haunting logic and find peace temporarily. Understand? Temporarily. When darshana becomes anubhuti, means beyond all the blind spots of pure science getting converted into applied science. If you evolve a methodology for yourself to become absolutely in pure science space and radiate the pure science space and come to terms with life from the pure science space. So the state of Sadashiva was not compromised to radiate the space of Sadashiva or powers of Sadashiva, that lifestyle is what is called Jivan Mukti, Sadashivatva. Only if you discover that for yourself, you achieve permanent peace, Paramapada. You become Paramashiva, you become Parabrahma, you become Para. What Hindu tradition is trying to show as Para ultimate. Listen. The ability to convince yourself logically and rest in peace by answering all your haunting, seeking questions is only finding peace, not enlightenment. Darshanas are tattva, not that. Understand? Tattva means that and you, both. Tva means you, tat means that. Tattva is not tat. Understand? In Hindu tradition, the methodology of finding peace by answering the haunting logical questions can lead to peace. That is called tattva, but tattva is not tat. Understand? Tat is anubhuti, tattva is philosophy, darshana. In darshana, seer and seen has to exist. Only then darshan happens. In anubhuti, seer and seen becomes the space of oneness. In anubhuti, darshana does not happen. If darshana happens, it is only tattva, not anubhuti. Understand? All of you also have certain consoling methodology where you just console your haunting blind spots. Why I came? What am I doing? Is it in sync? These are haunting questions, but you have your own logic to silence those haunting questions. That can be consolation, not completion. Only if you are radiating the space I am radiating, it is completion. Otherwise, everything else is consoling version of completion you practice, not completion. Understand? Beware of consoling version of completions is the essence of today's satsang. Beware of consoling versions of completion. Beware of false versions of integrity, inauthentic versions of authenticity, irreparable versions of responsibility. Exploiting versions of enriching, costly versions of causing. The costing versions of causing. Listen. If you say, I know the solution, but I am not able to live it. Understand? Then you have something called consolation method of completion, not completion itself. Blind spot cannot be third eye. Third eye is which makes you discover blind spots, not the blind spot itself. Tat is not tattva. Third eye is not blind spot. Consolation is not completion. Coming to terms is not completion. Completion is completion. Understand? Shanti is not Ananda. Consolation is not completion. Listen carefully. Questioning the arithmetic, logic and its blind spots, which converts the pure science into applied science and discovering your own method of being in the space of pure science and radiating applied science is Sadashivatva. Coming to terms with it is compromising. Coming directly face to face is completion. So, essence of today's satsang, consolation is not completion. Escaping is not integrity. Catch your blind spot. Spot your blindness. Uttared atmanatmanam atmanam avasadayet. Raise yourself by yourself. Ajnana timirandasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurun militam yena tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. When he applies jnananjana and opens your ajnana timiranda, understand? Your blind spots are not only ignorance. Ignorance protected by the arrogance. Ajnana timiranda means ignorance empowered by arrogance. Arrogance which is protecting the ignorance. When he applies the jnananjana, don't have arrogance and protect your ignorance. And if you think, I don't have arrogance, I only have ignorance, that is arrogance. If you just have ignorance, it will melt down. If the ignorance is not melting down, it is mixed with arrogance. Either fort is built in RCC or building itself is in RCC. Sometimes fort is RCC, means you know you are ignorant and arrogant. Sometimes building itself is in RCC, you know you are ignorant but you don't know you are arrogant. Arrogance is mixed so much with your ignorance. You don't even know arrogance is there with your ignorance. Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanachalagaya Chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. When Guru applies the Jnananjana and opens your third eye, do not allow the arrogance to stop identifying your blind spots. With this, I'll move to the next step. So, essence of today's satsang is consolation is not completion. With this, I bless you all. Let's all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Shuddhadvaita Saivam, Sadashivoham, the eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank you. Be blissful.